Okay, my dear children, today we are going to discuss 2.3 exercise, page number 44, question number 2. In this Roman number 2, we have already discussed yesterday in the previous class. We have discussed first two question in this Roman number 2. Now we are going to discuss second question in this Roman number 2. Okay, my dear children, find the domain and range of the function f of x is equal to square root of 9 minus x square. Okay, my dear children, we have to find the domain and range of this function. What is the function here? F of x. How it is defined? Square root of 9 minus x square. Okay, my dear children, now come to the solution part. Given function, first we wrote given function f of x is equal to square root of 9 minus x square. Okay, my children, now we are going to find domain of this function f. Previously we have discussed in the concepts. Throughout this chapter we are discussing only real functions, means the domain is also real numbers or subset of real numbers, and codomain range also subset of real numbers. So here this value must be a real number, then only we can say that f is defined. So f of x belongs to R. That means this f of x value, whatever the value x is there taken, that entire value must be a real number. When by implies 9 minus x square greater than or equal to 0, this number under the square root must be a positive real number. If it is a negative real number, we cannot get real number. Square root of a negative real number is not a real number. So square root of positive non-negative real number. So this number 9 minus x square must be greater than or equal to 0. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. This implies we multiply this inequation. This is an inequation because greater than or equal to symbol is there. So we multiply this inequation on both sides by minus. Then we get here x square minus 9 greater than or equal to changes to less than or equal to, because we are multiplying this inequation by minus 1 on both sides. It becomes less than or equal to 0. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. This implies I wrote this x square as it is minus 9 can be written as 3 square. Isn't it or not, my dear children? Right. Less than or equal to 0. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. Now come to this algebraic expression. This is in the form of a square minus b square. You know the algebraic identity. A square minus b square is equal to, what is the identity? A plus b into a minus b. We are using this algebraic identity. So here x means a means x and b means 3. So x plus 3 into x minus 3. I wrote the factors of this quadratic polynomial. Okay, my dear children, this is one factor x plus 3 and another factor is x minus 3. So less than or equal to 0. I wrote this part as it is. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. After that we have to find the value of x. In the rough work I am finding the values of x. I wrote this sentence as it is x plus 3 into x minus 3. Instead of less than or equal to, I wrote here is equal to 0. Instead, just I removed this less than or equal to sign. In that place I wrote is equal to 0. To find the values of x, I am using here is equal to sign. Remaining sentence as it is. I wrote the remaining mathematical sentence as it is. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. So x plus 3 into x minus 3 is equal to 0 implies x plus 3 is equal to 0 or x minus 3 is equal to 0. You know how to find the values of x from a quadratic equation. We are following the same steps here. Okay, my dear children? Right. This implies x is equal to minus 3. Plus 3 becomes here minus 3. Similarly, from this equation, we get x is equal to 3. So these are the values of x. X is equal to minus 3 comma 3. Understood these values of x, my dear children? Right. Now come to this step. Here the values of x are minus 3 comma 3, and here we got less than or equal to 0. There is a property here. In the inequalities there is a property. What is this property? X minus a into x minus b less than or equal to 0 implies x belongs to closed interval a comma b. Here a means minus 3 and b means plus 3. Okay, my dear children, that is why I wrote this step. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. Therefore, domain of f is equal to closed interval minus 3 comma 3. Whatever the values x takes, that values are said to be domain of the function. Understood this part, my dear children? Right. We have completed the first part of the question, that is finding the domain of the function. Okay, my dear children. Now come to the second part of the question. What is the second part of the question? We have to find the range of the function f. Okay, my dear children. So range of f. We have discussed the steps to be followed to find the range of a function. We follow the same steps here. Please bring back to your mind those steps. Okay, my dear children. In the previous class, in the yesterday video, we have discussed. Remember the steps. What is the step 1? We have to assume that y is equal to f of x. We have to write this equation. They don't give. We have to follow these steps. Okay, my dear children, y is equal to f of x. This implies f of x is equal to y. F of x is equal to y. This implies what is f of x here? Square root of 9 minus x square is equal to y. In LHS, instead of f of x, I wrote square root of 9 minus x square is equal to, I wrote RHS part as it is. Understood this step, my children? Right. After that, second step. What is the second step? We have to find the value of x in terms of y. From this equation, we have to find the value of x in terms of y. So for that, I took squaring on both sides. By taking the square on both sides, we get 9 minus x square is equal to y square. Understood this step, my children? Right. This implies x square is equal to 9 minus y square. X square is equal to 9 minus y square. Understood this step, my children? Right. This implies x is equal to plus or minus square root of 9 minus y square. Okay, my children? Understood this step? Right. Now come to the step 3. We have completed step 2. What is the step 2? We have found the value of x in terms of y. We have completed second step. Understood this step, my children? Right. Now come to the step 3. What is the step 3? We have to solve this equation. Solving the above equation. We have to solve the equation. Means we have to find the values of y. Okay, my children. So here x is equal plus or minus square root of 9 minus y square is a real number. When it is a real number, same as in the case of domain, we follow the same steps. From here onwards, to find the values of y, we follow the same steps as we followed to find the domain of function. So 9 minus y square should be greater than or equal to 0. Only in that case, this entire number is a real number. Under this square root, the number under the square root must be non-negative real number. So we wrote like this: 9 minus y square greater than or equal to 0 means it is a non-negative real number. Understood this step, my children? Right. This implies here I multiplied this inequation on both sides by minus 1. Here I multiplied this inequation on both sides by minus 1. Then we get here y square minus 9 is less than or equal to 0. Previously I told you, if we multiply the inequation by minus 1 on both sides, greater than or equal to changes to less than or equal to, less than or equal to changes to greater than or equal to. So here greater than or equal to changes into less than or equal to. Understood this step, my children? Right. This implies y square minus, I wrote here 9. as 3 square. Can we write it or not? Yes. So I wrote here 3 square less than or equal to 0. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. This implies if it is in the form of a algebraic identity a square minus b square, where a is equal to y and b is equal to 3. So I wrote the factors of this quadratic polynomial. So y plus 3 into y minus 3 is less than or equal to 0, because a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. We are using this algebraic identity in this step. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. This implies y belongs to closed interval minus 3 comma 3, because in the rough work we have got the values of y minus 3 comma 3. As in the case of finding the domain, we've got x is equal to minus 3 comma 3. Here also we got the values of y is minus 3 comma 3. So here y belongs to closed interval minus 3 comma 3. But the range of f is equal to closed interval 0 comma 3, because y is considered as square root of 9 minus x square. It is a positive square root. Y does not take negative values. That is why here we are not taking negative values on the number line minus 3 to 3. But in this interval we exclude negative real numbers. So 0 to 3 we take only non-negative real numbers. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. So please note this point. While finding the range or domain of a function, please be careful on squaring the function. Sometimes it may give some extra values. So we have to be very cautious, very careful. See here, the y values we have got minus 3 to 3, but actually function values are from 0 to 3 only. Okay, my dear children, understood this difference? Right. Now come to the question number 3. In this exercise, question number 3 and the next question, that is question number 4, both are of the same type of questions. Okay, my dear children. So I am explaining here question number 3. You try question number 4. Okay, my dear children. Will you make an effort to find the question number 4, to solve the question number 4? Okay, my dear children. Right. Are you listening to me? Right. So a function f is defined by f of x is equal to 2x minus 5. Here f is defined like this, 2x minus 5. Write down the values of first part f of 0, second part f of 7, third part f of minus 3. Three parts are there. This is the first part, this is the second part, and this is the third part in this question. So let us find one by one. Okay, my dear children, understood this question, my dear children? Just substitution. If you have substitution skills, it is very easiest question. Okay, my dear children. So come to the question. What is the function here? F of x. So f of x is equal to 2x minus 5. I wrote the given function here. Now come to the first part, f of 0. In the place of x, what is there here? 0. So in RHS also, in the place of x, write 0. Substitute x is equal to 0 in RHS also. So 2 into 0 minus 5. What will you get? The value of the first term 0. Two zeros are 0 minus 5. Now simplify these two terms. What will you get here? Minus 5. Understood these steps, my dear children? Right. Therefore, f of 0 is equal to minus 5. This is the value of the function f at x is equal to 0. We can say that f of 0 is equal to 5, or the value of the function f at x is equal to 0 is minus 5. Understood, my dear children? Right. Now come to the second part, that is f of 7. In the same function, we are substituting x is equal to 7. So 2 into 7 minus 5. In this function, we are substituting x by 7. We are replacing x by 7. So f of 7 is equal to
2 of 7 minus 5.
Understood this step, my dear children?
Right. That is equal to.
So here we are going to find f of 7. We are going to find the value of f of 7. So in this function we substitute x is equal to 7. We replace x by 7. So 2 into 7 minus 5. Okay, my dear children, understood this step? Right. That is equal to, what is the value of here? First term, 2 sevens are 14. So 14 minus 5. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. 14 minus 5. What do you get here? 9. Understood, my dear children? Therefore, f of 7 is equal to 9. So the value of f of 7 is 9. We can say that the value of the function f of x at x is equal to 7 is 9. Okay, my dear children, we can say like that also. Now come to the third part. F of minus 3. We have to find the value of f of minus 3. We follow the same procedure as we followed in the case of first and second part. We substitute x is equal to minus 3 in this function. We replace x by minus 3. So 2 into minus 3 minus 5. Just we substituted x is equal to minus 3. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. That is equal to 2 into minus 3. What you will get here? Minus 6 minus 5. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. Minus 6 minus 5. What will you get by simplifying these two numbers? Minus 11. Understood this step, my dear children? Right. Therefore, f of minus 3 is equal to minus 11. This is called the value of f of minus 3. Or sometimes we can say that the value of the function f of x at x is equal to minus 3 is minus 11. Okay, my dear children? Right.